r/Askreddit by Reddit and chill. What's a super genius way to hide something in your house? If it's light and small, I split some of the seams on the side bottom of blackout drapes and stitched in a pocket and velcro. It's pretty much invisible, and I doubt people robbing the house want to disturb the drapes. I use it to stash cash. For larger stuff, I have a wood fireplace, so we have decorative wood sitting next to it. I split a log, hollowed it out a bit with a drill, use it to hide a bunch of spare keys, safe keys, etc. I made these things while I was recovering from an injury and super bored. On the positive side, I think nobody will look in my places. On a negative side, if there's ever a fire, the neighbors will think I'm insane when I save a blackout drape and a log. Edit. You guys are nuts. My address is redacted street. Redacted USA. I have had some fun thinking about all the would-be robbers rifling through decorative fire logs and stealing blackout drapes. Honestly, it would make some amateur/junior detectives scratch their heads, and that's enough to make me happy. Love you all. That works until a house sitter decides to use the fireplace. I used to think I could hide my weed from my mom in the towel in the bass drum of my drum set. One day I reached in and found a note instead. It said, "Not as smart as you think you are. So not that way." If she's not a drummer, she wouldn't understand the towel and would assume it was nonsense you made up to hide stuff. If she was a drummer, she definitely had that thought before about it being a good hiding place because it seems so innocuous. I would have thought that was a genius way to hide stuff, but the older I get, the more I understand how my own mom's brain works. Become a hoarder. Fill your house with every piece of random junk you come across. Anything you own will become hidden. I just hid something inside a jar. Put a toilet paper tube in the middle. Then fill the sides with dog food biscuits. The odd part was, he was hiding dog food biscuits. In the summer, winter jacket pockets. My favorite day is when it's cold enough to put on your winter jacket for the first time and you find some bounty. Usually change, a Ricola, or a ticket stub. False bottom to your cat's litter box. Nobody's gonna dig through cat shit to look for your stuff. Former probation officer here. I had someone on supervision that had a complaint called in, so had to go check it out. Never could find anything. Then I noticed a litter box. He didn't list any pets on his paperwork. I asked where the cat was. He said the cat is always hiding. I gave him that. My girlfriend had a cat that would disappear whenever someone came over. But I was with a different officer that day, and he said he is highly allergic to cats and felt nothing. 3 pounds of weed was vacuum sealed and under the cat litter. There was no cat. Also some benzos. When I was a teenager, I got my hands on a Playboy magazine. This was just before we had internet at home, which changed the game, of course. My mom knew I had it, but I was just old enough where she decided to tolerate a few boobs. Still, in the conversation we had about it, she bet that if I was trying to hide a magazine from her, she would be able to find it. I accepted her challenge and told her to give me a little while to come up with hiding place. I had a chair with a cushion made of foam with a fabric cover, like a typical couch cushion. I removed the fabric cover and cut a slit into the foam, inserting the magazine in the middle of the cushion. I then turned the cushion around so that the slit was on the inside and couldn't be seen if you unzipped it. I put the foam back in the cushion and put it back on the chair. Couldn't feel anything sitting on it. My mom searched for a good while and could not find it. I think even if someone tore your house up completely, they likely wouldn't take the foam out of the couch cushions and carefully inspect it from all sides. Thieves don't care about your shit. If they think you have something they want, they think you keep large amounts of cash, drugs, etc. in your house, they'll just slash your cushions, lounges, etc. looking for it. Inside Sharpies. If you gently bend and wiggle the barrel, gray portion, and the ferrule, colored bit that holds the nib, you can separate them and remove the reservoir ink. It's a great place to hide money or a joint cigarette while still leaving a working nib under the cap. Larger Sharpies like a Magnum barrel, metal ones, use glue on the ferrule so it's more difficult to separate those Sharpies. Edit. Spelling ferrule. Friend of mine, ex-criminal, had that problem when police raided his house. The gun he owned was not legal, so he threw it in a pot full of beans. While they were on a stew. Cooking. He saved his ass. Sorry for bad English though. Did he still eat the stew? Next question. What are the super genius passwords to your bank accounts? PRSSWORD. If you want to be really tricky, add a 1 to the end. No one will ever guess it. Unscrew the base of a lamp. Like the entire base and put what you want to hide inside the base. Then screw the base back on. When was the last time you or anyone you know has completely disassembled a lamp? Edit. I had no idea so many people wouldn't take my question rhetorically, lol. My boyfriend is tall. Anything I don't want him to see goes at the back of the lowest shelf. And whatever he doesn't want you to see is at the back of the highest shelf. Happy hunting. I have a Barbasol shaving can that unscrews from the bottom. Similar to where Newman kept the Dino DNA in Jurassic Park. Same, but it's a carpet shampoo can. Had a search warrant or 2 executed on my house back in my younger days and the cops didn't find a thing. But I had 2 bottles of this carpet shampoo and not a lick of carpet in the whole house. Inside a Holmes and Watson DVD case. It will never be opened. Definitely not worth stealing. Only risk is someone possibly decides to incinerate it. Surely a thief would be suspicious that someone actually owns a copy of Holmes and Watson and check it immediately. If it's flat. Money. In books. You can repurpose empty food and cleaner containers to hide bigger objects. Only flat things? Whatever happened to cutting out the inside of a book in the shape of a rock hammer? Put it wherever you keep losing your keys. If you lose your keys often, put them in the fridge with your lunch. Can't leave without keys, and if you forget lunch now you got keys and a lunch. Inside of trophies. Mine are all hollow. That would require being good at something. My ex hid wads of $100s in the mouth of a VCR. I had an encyclopedia set that no one else ever messed with. I used to hide money in the M book on the money page. Kind of obvious, I know. But no one ever found it. Fake electrical outlet. Looks like a regular outlet but has no wiring. You can keep a small wad of cash or anything in similar size. You know, I have an electrical socket in my house that doesn't work, just one. I'm going to check it tonight. Maybe I have a secret gift from the previous owners. Edit. No cash, it's just duct. Thanks for the heads up on the circuit breaker. Everyone. Didn't die. I hid my stuff in my guitar amp's back cavity. Same can apply for any speaker box. Edit. I meant from parents and siblings. Not from burglars. Cops search amp cavities if you're transporting and get pulled over. For your information, allegedly. Treat it as being super extra important, so you hide it in a super extra important place in the house. Then tell yourself you'll always remember where it is because it's in that super extra important place. In my experience, you'll never find it again. I can't tell you how much shit I've lost due to this exact logic. Read this as what's a super genius way to hide in your house and was convinced Op was wanting to work on their hide and seek game. Coming. Ready or not. Title of my sex tape. My mother and grandmother both have cold cash storage. It's a Tupperware in the freezers with cash in it. Edit. Thank you very much for wanting to reply. But the frozen assets and cold hard cash jokes has been made quite few times already. Please. Stop. I'm starting to regret making this comment. I heard a story once about somebody who went to help an old lady move her chest freezer. They grabbed it but it wouldn't lift up. Asked her if she'd emptied it and said yes. She'd taken all the food out. They opened it up to check. And it turned out she just didn't know what to do with the foot or so of silver bars that her late husband had been putting under the food for years. If you're trying to hide something from me, you just need to put it in the fridge or the cupboard. Front and center. Me. Hey. I can't find the applesauce. Them. It's in the cupboard with all the other sauces. Me. No, it's not. Them. No. It's definitely in there. I put it there an hour ago. Me. I'm telling you. I just looked and it's not there. Them. Fine. I'll show you. Gets up. Goes to cupboard. Opens it. Points to applesauce in plain sight. Me. Dot. Yeah, that wasn't there before. Well. Hello my husband. Inside electronics. A lot of electronics has spare room inside. False wall and closet. Either the back of the closet, top of the closet, or a wall that doesn't have a door next to it. Harder to see the missing space. Drawers. False bottom. Underneath a drawer. Or taped behind a drawer. On top of cabinets. Especially with a false top to cover whatever you're hiding. Behind the backing of a picture. Best with those cheap photo frames that are easy to disassemble. False middle to a bottle of soda. Toilet tank. Taped up under sink near the front board. Make your own false book. Works best with large bookcase. Inside a large chair or couch that's not properly sealed up underneath. Behind washing machine. Under dishwasher. Drawers. False bottom. Underneath a drawer. Or taped behind a drawer. My brother went full tilt on this. He made a false cover for underneath a drawer. All contraband went in the gap. That was created and he wanted hidden from parents. Was very impressed when he showed me. However, it was a bit too much effort emo. I just hid stuff in plain sight. As an example, I put the booze I was hiding at the back of our liquor shelf. Shelf is up high and you can see the back looking at it, as in it's at 6ft. Parents always took from the front. And forgot what they had at the back constantly. So I just hid it up there where they would never look. Inside a hollowed out door. No one's going to smash a door to pieces on the off chance something is inside it. No one's going to throw away or replace a door while you're at work. And it's very unlikely that someone will cause enough damage to an interior door to wreck it. The top half Marizo. Though. If you have large dogs who like to chew their way through things. Alternatively. In the hollowed out walls of a heavy safe you keep in the garage. With the safe door open, or at least not locked. Only slightly more likely to be sold to a scrap dealer or local safe enthusiast while you're at work. Amusing variation. In a hollowed out safe vault door you have mounted into a wall somewhere. With the combination stamped into a metal tag tied to the handle. If there's any actual space behind the door, fill it with cheap pawn shop trophies. Because, after all, who takes the time and effort to steal or slice up a safe they can see is empty? Bring in 10,000 more identical ones. Edit holy crap. Such a little comment and 9,000 upvotes. Soon you'll be able to hide your upvote amongst 10,000 others. If it's drugs this might be a problem. 2 words. Tampon box. Yes. That's also a great way to smuggle shots to a venue. The second they peek into a bag and see feminine hygiene products. It's an immediate keep going. My house was robbed once. They cut the silk liner out of a really nice fedora from Havana. Kicked holes in the back of all the closets and certain walls. Disassembled electronics. Pulled all the books off the bookshelf. Moved around all the appliances. Cut holes in couch cushions and mattresses. Etc. However, they found no valuables because it's my second home. And I don't leave any cash or jewelry laying around. A lot of these ideas may be good for hiding things from people that live with you. But if you're looking to hide something from a would-be thief, get a safety deposit box. Edit for clarification. The criminals were apprehended. They were local landscapers who knew I wouldn't be around for long periods. They were found with a lot of amphetamines, which could explain their interesting tactics. No, I am not a drug dealer. I guess safe deposit boxes aren't as safe as I thought. I don't wear fedoras. I promise. So you're saying buy a decor house? Brilliant. Hide the house first by procrastinating on yard work. As a kid, I saw that whomever had put the floor trim in my room didn't do a great job measuring. There was a section in one corner of the room, under my bed, that was about 18 inches long and held in with a single nail. I found that I could simply pull it out, and the whole thing would swing out like a door. So I took a knife and cut out the drywall. Just enough that if the trim was replaced, you'd never see the hole. I kept everything in there from porn to cash to weed. As a paranoid child with fairly conservative parents, I thought of all sorts of creative places to hide things. I should be a law enforcement consultant. I can find any hiding place. Hi Charlie. It's Dad. Secret rooms go in the basement along the perimeter completely underground. If you put a secret room upstairs, the rest of the house won't make physical sense to the astute observer. Ducking like and subscribe.